forward. Okay, there we go. Let me just take a moment here and say greetings to each and every one of you joining this conversation today. I am so wonderfully excited. I'm excited to be with you, some of the most beautiful people that I know, that I have the honor and privilege of knowing and getting to know even more of you. But I'm also excited because I believe that you are going to agree that what we are going to be talking about today is as close to the reality of the fabled fountain of youth that could possibly exist. Many people have studied this before me, and I really appreciate that. So I have taken the time to study this more than perhaps anyone else alive at this time. I have a whole row of books on my bookshelf and a set of books all queued up that are going to tune me in more and more to this miracle, this awesome miracle of stem cell rejuvenation, activation, proliferation, and differentiation. So, someone just, can you confirm? Do you see my PowerPoint screen on your window, on your computer? Please, someone confirm.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right. Well, let's get into this conversation. Holistic stem cell therapy. I want to emphasize the word holistic, natural. By the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you what the mainstream therapies are costing and what they're doing. And if we look at the details, their efficacy is not guaranteed, despite the fact that they are charging the lowest price I saw was $2,500. The highest price, $2.1 to $2.9 million for a single therapy with no guarantee, according to their own published research, no guarantee that it's going to get the outcome that they intended or that you intend when you spend that much money on a therapy. Let's go into this conversation. Natural proliferation and activation. Key themes that you will learn today in this preview. One, when can natural stem cell rejuvenation therapy be helpful for you? For example, we're going to show you an example of stem cell vision therapy options that are being offered in the marketplace. We're going to be talking about living superfood solutions, nutritional biochemistry, and bioregeneration. Our subject matter will cover rejuvenating the body's stem cell proliferation, the awesome benefits of a 3-day water fast. And if you get nothing else from today's conversation, the benefits that you can attain with a 3-day water fast, which will be part of our course. We're going to do a guided 3-day water fast. Now, I'm going to be doing 2 of them, so I'm going to show everybody else just what going through a 3-day water fast will entail. What is in our 56-day stem cell rejuvenation program. And lastly, we're going to be comparing the costs of stem cell therapy and get the maximum benefits for your investment. So let's go forward. At any given time, if anybody has a comment or a question, something you want me to clarify, do speak up. We love hearing your voice here. This is your family. The future of holistic and natural stem cell function. The body has a DNA encoded process for replacing cells that relies on stem cells. Stem cells are cells with a potential to develop into many different types of cells throughout the body. They serve as a repair system for the body. Going forward, there are 2 main types of stem cells: embryonic stem cells and adult stem cells. Our ability to create the ideal internal environment that facilitates the maximum function of adult stem cell creation and differentiation is key to conscious control over our relationship to aging. Going forward, what diseases can cutting-edge stem natural cell rejuvenation and therapy help with? The list of diseases for which stem cell therapy is proposed is impressive and extensive. Now, let me give you this cautionary note. It is essential to note Then while this research shows promise, stem cell therapy is still a newly emerging field, although it's been encoded in our biology for millions of years. And ongoing research is needed to fully understand its safety and efficacy. That's an important point. The research is ongoing, but much of this research is confirmed, and I'm really excited. Many of you probably have already experienced this miracle in your life. Welcome to the future of regenerative medicine. Let's give a definition of what this means. Regeneration, the act or process of regenerating or the state of being regenerated. In biology, this means the regrowth of lost or destroyed tissues, parts, or organs. And it also, regeneration applies to our mental, spiritual, or moral revival or rebirth. And as mind, body, spirit matrix is a key part of our 7 principles of optimal health, we take that regeneration on the moral, spiritual, mental level to heart. The etymology of the word regeneration. The term regeneration comes from the Latin words regenerare or regeneratio, meaning to be born again or renewal. It is derived from re, again, and generate, to beget or produce. Synonyms, meaning words that mean the same thing of regeneration, include renewal, rejuvenation, restoration, rebirth, and revitalization. Now, hey, listen, in my world, all of those words are welcome, welcome, welcome. Antonyms, meaning the opposite of regeneration, include degeneration, deterioration, decay, and decline. So which pathway do we choose to go forward? There's a fork in the road. Too many people, because they don't have a plan, are going down the wrong pathway. Let's go forward. When can stem cell therapy be helpful? The list of diseases for which stem cell therapy is proposed include acute respiratory distress syndrome. That might be considered anything from a cold to a flu to bronchitis or other acute pulmonary disorders. Number 2, Alzheimer's disease. Number 3, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, as it's commonly called. Number 4, autoimmune diseases. Number 5, azoospermia. Azoospermia is when a man fires his gun, but there is no bullet in the barrel, or no bullets. That means he has an ejaculation, but the sperm cells are missing. That's called azoospermia. Number 6, blood disorders. Number 7, cancers. Number 8, cardiovascular diseases. Number 9, chronic ischemic cardiomyopathy, which is one of those cardiovascular diseases. Number 10, chronic lung disorders. Number 11, congenital disorders. 12, diabetes. 13, emphysema. 14, endometriosis. Think of all of those sisters who have suffered hysterectomies because of endometriosis. Now we have a magic bullet, natural and holistic, that can alleviate that suffering in a remarkably short period of time. Number 15, eye diseases. Number 16, heart failure. 17, hematological disorders, meaning of the logic of the blood. Number 18, Huntington's disease. 19, ischemic heart disease, meaning an interruption of oxygen-rich blood flow. Number 20, liver diseases. 21, male infertility. 22, motor neuron disease. 23, coming up, bear with me, computer's a little sluggish. Here we go. 23, multiple myeloma. 24, multiple sclerosis. 25, musculoskeletal disorders. 26, neuroblastoma. Blastoma meaning a tumor of the neurotic system, nerve tumors. Number 27, neurodegenerative diseases. Number 28, organ regeneration. 29, Parkinson's disease. Number 30, polycystic ovary syndrome, PCOS, another common cause of hysterectomies and extreme distress in women. 31, premature ovarian insufficiency. Number 32, rebuilding cartilage. 33, reversing signs of aging. 34, sickle cell disease. 35, spinal cord injury. 36, torn ACL stem cell therapy. 37, traumatic brain injury. 38, vitiligo. And 39, wound healing. All of these applications are being developed by the mainstream as stem cell therapies. We're going to talk about how much these things cost here before we finish today. So going forward, and bear with me here, just get this page turning to act right. Here we go. Stem cell vision therapy options include, this is just one of these many applications. We're talking about eye disorders. Stem cell therapy is being proposed for the following vision disorders. These include optic atrophy, investigated as a treatment to reduce optic nerve degeneration and improve visual function. 2, macular disease, to replace damaged retinal pigment epithelium cells and enhance nutrient absorption in the retina. Number 3, diabetic retinopathy, to reduce inflammation, promote vascular repair, and restore retinal function and neuroprotection. Number 4, age-related macular degeneration, used to replace damaged retinal pigment epithelium cells, improving nutrient transport and waste removal in the retina. And let me excuse me, let me just say this much. I used to wear reading glasses, used to need reading glasses. I became farsighted, and it was age-related. But when I changed my level of nutrition to living superfood, within 1 month, it dawned on me, I'm no longer reaching around my desk for reading glasses when I have to pull out a book and read it. No longer stretching the book out at arm's length so my eyes could focus, only to find that the text was too small to be able to read. Now, I only use my reading glasses as magnifying glasses when I'm working on some very small text or electronics. Continuing, number 5, inherited retinal diseases, a potential treatment for IRDs such as retinitis pigmentosa and Stargardt disease. Now, during the entire course, some of these definitions, we have a glossary I've created for the upcoming book, so you'll get definitions of what these particular terminologies mean. Glaucoma, for regenerating optic nerve cells, enhancing humor drainage pathways, protecting against cell death, and restoring normal intraocular pressure. Number 7, corneal diseases, using limbal cells from donors or the patient's eye to restore the cornea's surface, normalize intraocular pressure, and enhance visual acuity. Number 8, retinal degeneration, proposed for various forms of retinal degeneration, including AMD, retinitis pigmentosa, and choroideremia, or replacing or repairing damaged photoreceptors and RPE cells. Note that while these vision problems are being explored as potential targets for stem cell therapy, not all of these treatments have yet been approved for human clinical trials or are widely available. In our program, because this is a process that's regulated by the body, managed by the body, inherent to the body, we don't have that problem of these clinical approval and these clinical trials and waiting to find out if these treatments are safe and efficacious, because this is the way the body is designed to work naturally, holistically, and those are very important priorities for many of us. Let's go into living superfood solutions. Nutritional biochemistry. This is a terminology most of us are unfamiliar with. Nutritional biochemistry, meaning we create the environment in our blood which feeds 50 trillion cells throughout our body And that is the basis of the body reaching homeostasis, regenerative, and we get a chance to enjoy a healthy, long lifespan. Very important information. Nutritional biochemistry is an integrative science whose foundation is derived from knowledge of other biological, chemical, and physical sciences. But it is distinguished in its application of this knowledge to understanding the interactive relationships among diet, health, and disease susceptibility. For example, nutritional biochemistry is rooted in analytical methodology that permits the identification of individual nutrients. We talk about the 8 classes of nutrients, individual nutrients, and the determination of their structural functionality, as well as in classic biomolecular chemistry approaches that identify metabolic pathways. Now, that may sound a little bit technical. I can guarantee you, a week or two into this course, you'll be able to take that entire paragraph down and explain probably about 8 different concepts that were put together in just that one long sentence. That's what we are studying together. Nutritional biochemistry seeks to elucidate the logics of dietary components in regulating metabolism, gene expression, and disease prevention. Let's talk further. And once again, at any given time, if someone hears something you want clarification on, you don't understand, I don't want to move too fast for this audience. I do see Ken in the house. How can this research help fix my recurring interrupted sleep? The reoccurring interrupted sleep, in functional medicine, we say one disease, many causes, or one cause, many diseases. So your interrupted sleep, I know you and I have gone around and around on this. Your interrupted sleep has been complex. I know you have been adding many different components to it to resolve that. And from my understanding, every component you add that you master adds value and quality to your life. I myself have interrupted sleep. I have a hard time falling asleep. So if I wake up and have to urinate after 4 hours, most of us are going to want to urinate throughout the day. And I do that throughout the day. But I have a hard time falling back to sleep because my brain gets so very active. So it will be a combination of a number of different things, including mindfulness, things like yoga, meditation, and other things. We don't necessarily have to be sleeping to be able to get that restfulness, or we can always break up our sleeping pattern into more than one time of the day. Most days, I'm going to sleep at least twice because my nighttime sleep session is only going to be 6 hours or so on average. Let's go forward. Pierce asks, please, what is the cost of the course? We're going to get to that at the end, but there are 2 different payment structures. The first payment, if you want to do a one-time payment, that is $299.99. If you want to make 2 payments, the 2 payments added together adds an extra $20. So that's $159.99 in 2 payments. We're going to get to that a little bit later. Especially, you need to know what the cost of mainstream stem cell therapy is. I'm going to show you. And it is shocking. And we realize that even those mainstream courses of therapy do not guarantee successful outcome, despite the fact that some of them, just for example, sickle cell disease treatment, which I know for a fact because I saw it up close and personal, Dr. Sabi used these methodologies. And I saw for a fact sickle cell disease reversed in 30 days, and it did not cost between $100,000 and $300,000, which is what the mainstream industries are charging. I'm going to show you that. So stick with us. This is well worth your investment of time. In this study, we look at the function of stem cells. What is the latest research on the safety, effectiveness, and affordability of current stem cell therapies? Is it possible to regenerate key cellular tissues with easily accessible natural strategies? I think you know the answer to that question, Basubranda. Yes, it is beyond a shadow of a doubt. No doubt, no doubt, no doubt. We continue. Oh, our ability to create the ideal internal environment that facilitates the maximum function of adult stem cell creation and differentiation is key to conscious control over our relationship to aging. Conscious control over our relationship to aging. Let's continue. The awesome benefits of a 3-day water fast. Now, for everybody tuned in right now, just this one message, this one message will be helpful to everyone. Most people who are serious about achieving optimized natural health have become aware of the powerful benefits of periodic detoxification fasting. Today, we revisit the awesome benefits of water fasting by citing specific changes that happen within the body during a 3-day water fast. While the first day may be a bit uncomfortable, the great benefits that kick in during the second and third days are well worth the effort to express this mind over matter exercise of willpower. I encourage everyone who hears this message to learn more about these wonderful life-enhancing benefits. Let's go through this. Benefits of a 72-hour, 3-day water fast. Point 1, water fasting is the quickest known means of whole body healing. Point 2, it cleans the brain and resets our energy. Number 3, it improves immune function, repair damaged cells, that's stem cells, remove dysfunctional cells and pathogens. Number 4, reduces inflammation and neuroinflammation. Number 5, increases autophagy, meaning it breaks down cells, old cells, senescent cells, tired cells, and helps us to begin to replace them. And autophagy removes pathogens. Did I hear someone making a comment? Did you have something?
No, I just had some background noise. I wanted to excuse myself. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. No problem. I just don't want to miss anybody's comments or questions. Number 6, water fasting engages stem cell activation, proliferation, and differentiation. Number 7, decreases autoimmune disease. Number 8, benefits the gut microbiome. Number 9, increases DNA repair processes, especially repairing the telomeres, the chromosome end strands that fray as we age. Caution for those who are insulin dependent diabetics, women menstruating, hypoglycemic, and or on prescription drugs. Consult a physician as you implement water fasting. Not to say you can't do it, but you do want to be in contact with your physician while you are going through these processes. And I think that's pretty good advice. Water fast, day 1. Here's what happens in the second trimester of the day, because remember, we all do a water fast overnight. So that's 8 hours already in. Then from hours 8 to 12, here's what water only fasting produces. Number 1, decrease of glucose, which is the sugar in the blood used for cellular energy, and glycogen, the stored form of glucose that's in the liver and the muscles. 2, increases glucagon, pancreatic regulation of glucose and ketones, increases human growth hormone, which stimulates cell growth and cell repair. You recognize that? That's stem cells. It reduces cortisol, which is adrenal gland stress response, and adrenaline, the body's fight or flight hormone. Actually gets triggered. A little bit of this cortisol and adrenaline get triggered in the beginning because we're now missing food, and the body starts to aggravate these processes. It says, hey, we got a problem we got to fix. The first thing our body starts moving into recognize a starvation process has begun. And it's going to react to that. Number 3, It decreases insulin, which is used to regulate glucose uptake, glycogen, and protein synthesis. And it starts to regulate fat storage to look for energy in other places. Number four, increases ketones from fat, turning fat cells into energy. Number five, begins weight loss by consuming adipose tissue, which is a fancy way of saying fat cells. Number six, increases logical hunger triggers in the brain to seek food. That's what happens in 8 to 12 hours. 8 to 12 hours continues depletion of glycogen, the reserve energy stored in the liver and the muscle tissues. Gluconeogenesis begins. Energy now is created in the liver as ketones. That's burning fat cells. Increase of autophagy, which is a word that means self-eating. Removing debris, recycling cellular parts, and maintaining optimal cell function. And part of this autophagy is your body actually starts to cannibalize parasites that might be in the gut. That's true. Decreases autoimmunity when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own tissue. It decreases neuroinflammation, brain inflammation, creating brain hybrid, which is called neuroplasticity. That's the ability of the brain to rewire itself and adapt to environment. It increases brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a key component of memory and learning, and increases human growth hormone, HGH, for cell rejuvenation. We start to see ketones in the blood. Blood analysis shows evidence of ketosis, burning fat cells for energy production. Water fast day 2. A steady increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor and HGH, meaning learning and memory start to improve. And HGH is like the rejuvenation hormone. HGH is actually banned in high amounts in athletes' bodies because taking HGH gives them an unfair advantage. Well, in this case, this is what the body's doing naturally. Increase of autophagy and replacement of senescent or old, decaying, dying cells. We see these proteins, tau, amyloid, Lewy body dementia, alpha-synuclein, primed glial cells. All of these related to post-traumatic stress disorder, concussions, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. We see these start to be removed from the body. We see mitophagy, which is the removal of insufficient, non-functioning mitochondrial cells. These are the energy producers in each of our cells. Insulin resistance decreases as there is no adiposity in the blood to correct. So the pancreas takes a break, the liver takes a break, and the insulin resistance, which is the hallmark of diabetes, lessens quite significantly. A decrease of fatty liver as fat cells convert to ketones. 90 to 95% of our energy now comes from ketones, converted fat cells, instead of glucose. So this is where the fat starts melting away. Any and every one of these TV and social media commercials that talks about use vinegar and baking soda or take this pill and just melt away fat miraculously, it doesn't work like that. That's not biochemistry. That is entertainment. And you shouldn't take that any more seriously than if you were watching Saturday morning cartoons with your children or grandchildren. Let's be clear about that. We gotta know with clarity the mechanics of biochemistry. Hunger pains decrease. The brain no longer facilitates the distraction of hunger pangs. Day 2, we're experiencing neurological system corrections. This is where the magic of this all starts happening. And these processes rely heavily on stem cell activation. 1, amyloidosis is a tau protein that aggregates abnormally and forms neurofibrillary tangles in neurodegenerative diseases, disrupting the structure and function of neurons and leading to neuronal death. That's cognitive degenerative diseases. 2, amyloidosis is a rare disease where a protein called amyloid accumulates in organs, impairing their function. This abnormal protein produced in the bone marrow can affect various organs, including the heart, kidney, liver, spleen, nervous system, and digestive tract. These are corrections that are happening on your second day of water fasting. Lewy body dementia is a common type of dementia that happens when clumps of proteins called Lewy bodies build up in your brain. They damage parts of your brain that affect cognition, behavior, movement, and sleep. And unfortunately, Lewy body dementia is the most common form of dementia impacting the lives of people as they move into their senior years. And most of us have never heard of it. Alpha synuclein. ASYN is a protein encoded by the SNCA gene. It is a neuronal protein abundant in the brain that regulates synaptic vesicle trafficking and subsequent neurotransmitter release. So this correction, this is in our favor. And excuse me, if you don't understand this terminology now, I promise you, at the end of the 53-day cycle, you'll be able to go through this with somebody unfamiliar with it and explain what all of this means. Primed glial cells refer to glial cells, such as astrocytes and microglia that exhibit an altered state, making them more responsive to inflammatory signals or pathological stimuli. Now, glial cells quite simply means brain cells. There are different types of glial cells, but when someone refers to gray matter, that's generally they're referring to glial cells in the brain. These are all related to post-traumatic stress disorder, concussion, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other neurodegenerative disorders. Water fast day 3. There is an ongoing increase of autophagy. Your body continues to replace senescent cells, bringing forward rejuvenated and revitalized organ tissues. Stem cell proliferation maximizes. 2, reversal of chronic diseases, metabolic disorders, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, cancer, chronic inflammatory diseases, autoimmune disorders, and more start to reverse themselves. They're not going to necessarily go away in 3 days. You will see some of them disappear in 3 days, but they're reversing their course. The course of pathology or pathogeneration reverses itself. So now the body is getting in a healing modality. And as long as you stay in this new direction, you're going to get more and more benefits. Increasing immune function, anti-inflammatory benefits, greater resistance to acute infections, improved lymphatic function, improvement of gastrointestinal function, and improved gut flora, an increased function of stem cell differentiation and rehabilitation of DNA functionality in newly formed cellular systems, and metabolic flexibility, improving your body's ability to easily switch between glucose and ketones, helping maintain your ideal weight. As we do this 53-day program, you will quickly see your body moving towards its ideal adult weight. Insofar as me, when I was 25 years old, I weighed 145 pounds. That for me is a lifetime ideal weight. I weighed myself this morning and I weighed 150.3 pounds. That's pretty reasonable. Most people gain 1 to 2 pounds every year since their ideal weight at age 25. So 44 years later, for me to be 5.3 pounds heavier than what I was at age 25 is not a bad thing. But I can guarantee you this, within the first week of this 53-day program, my weight will once again be 145 pounds. And you know something? I feel really good at that. We continue. The philosophy of fasting calls upon us to know ourselves, to master ourselves, and to discipline ourselves, the better to free ourselves. To fast is to identify our dependencies and free ourselves from them. That from Tariq Ramadan. Fasting modifications. There are different ways to do fast, and you need to know them all. Different modifications, aids, or alternatives, including distilled water fasting is free from minerals, chemicals, and contaminants that may be present in tap or bottled water. This is beneficial during fasting when the body is detoxifying. Minerals, sea salt, sparkling mineral water. Minerals, essential minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium are crucial for various bodily functions, including nerve, transmission, and muscle function. Ensuring adequate mineral intake during fasting can help prevent cramping and irregular heart rhythm. Sea salt. Sea salt can help maintain electrolyte balance, especially if you're not consuming food. It can help prevent symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and muscle cramps that might occur, particularly in longer fasts. Sparkling mineral water can be a refreshing way to stay hydrated. It often contains minerals like magnesium and calcium, and the carbonation may help people feel fuller, which can be beneficial during fasting. And veggie soup. Vegetable broth can provide essential vitamins and minerals, especially if made with various vegetables and herbs. As well, it is typically low in calories. So let's now get to this specific program we're previewing today, which is our 56-day stem cell rejuvenation program with Coach Keidi. It begins tomorrow, December 1st. I am so excited. You don't know how many days this wakes me up about 5 o'clock in the morning. I can't go back to sleep because my brain is just racing through what to add to the protocol, what to add to the. Well, let me show you what we've added so far. And I added one more today. Here we go. Stem cell rejuvenation course begins December 1st. And this program encompasses a 56-day guided regimen. There'll be a lesson for every day to guide you down this course. The course includes 3 books: Living Superfood Life, Living Superfood Longevity, and Living Superfood Recipes, Volume 2. Now, some of you may already have one or more of these 3 books. If so, you let me know and we can find something else that's going to be a great substitute for the book that you already have. But these are the 3 course books included. You will learn key principles of regenerative biology, very important terminology most of us really are unfamiliar with, but now we're going to know a lot about it. We will detoxify the body and the environment. You clean your body, but you must also clean the environment so that your body doesn't get toxic again in a very, very short period of time. There will be a focused approach on epigenetic processes and functional medicine. The word epigenetic means above genes. That's the environment inside the blood where all of the internal information in our body is communicated, created, and supported. That's the epigenetic environment. And we do know that puts us in control of our body's response to the whole environment. We will talk about dietary guides for optimizing stem cell function. I'll even be sharing recipes, but the Living Superfood Recipes book, and you see on the screen volume 3, but actually volume 2 is going to be the book in the screen. Volume 1 and 2 are all raw vegan recipes. Volume 3 is a combination of raw and cooked. Once you achieve your goals and you get on centered, and especially if you've gotten beyond any specific disorders and or diseases that you're experiencing, then you can bring in the cooked food. Well, we want to fast track this. This is 28 days times 2. We want to fast track this pathway to rejuvenation. So going forward, natural activation of two types of stem cells. There's bone marrow derived mesenchymal stem cells. These are very, very important. You're going to hear this word mesenchymal quite a bit during this course. And also adipose tissue derived stem cells, meaning stem cells that are created from fat cells. Now, what? Stem cells from fat cells? Yeah. Fat cells are some of the fastest growing cells in the body. That's true. The fastest growing cells in the body are the lining of the stomach. They replace themselves about every 4 or 5 days. Pretty amazing, isn't it? So we will talk about, bear with me, let me get back here into access to a proprietary formula for a daily rejuvenation smoothie. For those of you who sign up for this, I have never revealed this smoothie recipe in any of my books. This particular one was so far ahead of what I have been teaching everyone else that I said, I'm going to hold this one back. I'm going to hold this one back only for high value clients. And in this case, you, in taking this course, this proprietary formula is going to be added to your daily smoothie. And it tastes wonderful. It tastes absolutely fantastic. But what it does to you, hey, let me tell you, a version of this formula got me out of the hospital in 3 days when I was hospitalized in Uganda with malaria. And malaria is a very, very devastating disease. I felt almost close to death. I was having hallucinations of me and the devil chasing each other around the city. That's how close to the edge that I was. But this formula, one of my friends got it, a version of it from my book and brought it to me. And in 3 days, I was up and I got out of the hospital. I was so happy to be released from that situation. You will get a list of supplements that builds natural holistic stem cell development. It includes a 3-day guided water fast jumpstart. We're going to jumpstart it at the beginning, but for those who are not ready to do a water fast jumpstart, you can start with a fruit fast jumpstart to get your body moving in the right direction. But again, as you saw in the details, the water fast is the single greatest known rapid healing process that is available to us. This includes a weekly Zoom seminar, just like we're doing today. Tomorrow, we're actually going to start this. And every week on Saturdays, we will have the Zoom seminar of the Stem Cell Rejuvenation course and continuous peer-to-peer support via our WhatsApp. Many of you have taken our courses before. You know we have the WhatsApp group, and we share with each other, reinforce each other, and brag about our accomplishments every day. And that's a beautiful, beautiful place. I like to keep those Zoom groups open forever because that becomes the real family that I know supports our collaboration, cooperation, moving in the same direction of life together. And then also it includes a 1/2 hour one-on-one consultation with Coach Keidi, where we can talk about the specifics of what you are experiencing and where you want to go on your journey, on your pathway to longevity, high performance, and youthful vitality. So all of that. Now, I want to compare the benefits of natural holistic stem cell rejuvenation to what the marketplace, the medical marketplace is offering. Stem cell therapy cost range. Based upon provided search results, I used 4 AI search engines to find these prices. The cost range for stem cell therapy varies widely depending on several factors, such as stem cell types used, whether they're autologous, meaning from your own body, allogenic, meaning they're transferred from someone else, or umbilical cord derived, treatment location, whether you are getting the stem cell treatment in the United States, Japan, Germany, China, South Korea. Other countries are doing it, but these are the 5 leading countries in the world. The medical condition being treated, the number of sessions or treatments required, the quality and source of stem cells, clinical or laboratory experience. Here is a summary of the cost ranges of available stem cell therapies. Hold on to your seat, everybody. $4,000 to $8,000, single treatment, non-surgical orthopedics, United States. $5,000 to $50,000, average cost range in the United States. $15,000 to $45,000, culturally expanded cells, meaning they've been adapted. These are called induced stem cells. There are several types of induced stem cells: induced multipotent, induced pluripotent, induced mesenchymal. So these have been culturally expanded, meaning to do it in a test tube. $25,000 for IRB approved mesenchymal stem cell protocol in the United States. $25,000, and your body does this naturally with the right epigenetic environment. 300,000 to 300 to 2,300 for private cord blood banking collection and storage fees. That means if you just want to take some of your own stem cells and put them in a bank for future use, that's $300 to $2,300 just to put your own materials in a bank. Now, the thing about it is, but because these were manufactured by your body, rather than put them in a bank, let's just coach your body to just keep doing this. Don't stop manufacturing healthy, vital, multipotent or pluripotent stem cells. Duh. Medical industry makes me laugh, but people giving them that kind of money. $1,300 to $8,500 for single treatment, depending on the clinical picture. $5,000 to $15,000 for autologous stem cells. That's from your own body. I think I may have said that one earlier. Autologous. Okay, no, I didn't say it earlier. But this is stem cells from your own body. Again, they're charged. Excuse me, I find this hilarious. They are charging you to take something out of your body. That's what the word autologous means. And then put it back in you. $5,000 to $15,000. One of my friends did this. He had arthritis in the knee and his joints were deteriorating, and he did it. And I asked him, well, how did it turn out? I saw him a month or two later, and he says, well, the doctor said, give it 3 months before I can determine whether or not it worked. And I told him, I says, man, don't you know, just go hard on living superfood. And in 30 days, you're going to know beyond a shadow of a doubt. Not only are you going to see that arthritic pain relieved quite dramatically, but you're also going to see a whole bunch of stuff happen with your body as your whole body system moves towards homeostasis. But some people are just hard-headed. And my friend is hard-headed. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a prominent historian, and I got nothing but love and respect for his historical work. But, you know, some of our scholars, when it comes to their bodies, we going forward. I'm sorry. $20,000 to over $50,000 for multiple sclerosis or amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. That's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, depending on the protocol and the clinic. Sickle cell disease can range from 100,000 to 300,000 or more. And you know something? Sickle cell disease is not as difficult to correct as something like Lou Gehrig's disease, Parkinson's, Huntington's. Those are troubling. Those are trying. They're correctable. I convinced they are. Multiple sclerosis, we know. Autoimmune disorders are correctable. But sickle cell disease, it's not so confusing. Why are they charging us so much? I think you know the answer to that question. But we're not going to deal with that today. We're dealing with real, viable, workable, holistic, natural solutions. Now, we're almost finished. Now, this is ridiculous. Zolgensma, a gene therapy for spinal muscular atrophy, SMA, involves the use of a viral vector to deliver a functional copy of the SMN1 gene to patients. This is considered a stem cell therapy. At $2.1 to $2.9 million, Zolgensma is one of the most expensive one-time therapies in the world. Zolgensma. And U.S. government regulatory agencies are allowing them to do this. I looked at their website about their treatment, and they were not guaranteeing a positive outcome. They did say there were positive outcome. You know what the positive outcome they claimed? That 80% of the people after going through this one-time therapy could then sit up for 30 to 90 seconds on their own. This is a spinal muscular atrophy. This is a very serious degenerative disease. But you want to spend $2.1 million to $2.9 million to achieve the ability to sit up on your own for 30 to 90 seconds? Wow. This is devastating. Get the maximum benefits for your investment. Somebody earlier asked me about the cost. Here's what we're talking about. Join the 53-day rejuvenation regimen. Pay one time, a single payment, $299. And I'll push the link up for the payments in the chat in case anybody wants to know. Somebody says, when does the next course begin so that I may budget for it? This course commences December 1st and will end January 25. I might begin the next one on February 1st. Just take a week or so off of it. There is a good likelihood that I may start a second course in the middle of this first course after the first 28 days. So I'm still working with this. We have to understand I'm writing 3 books simultaneously while I'm preparing this. I will need to make videos, a lot of videos and a lot of PowerPoints and stuff on this. There's still a lot of research, a lot of documentation. So it's very, very busy. Sometimes people will ask me, well, when's the next time I'm going to do this? I'll join the next one, and they don't show up, or I don't show up. So if you're having stresses about paying it, you can always do a 2-payment course, 2 payments of $159.99. Of course, this is a 2 months, 2 lunar cycle course. So there will be 2 payments, one to start and then one in the middle of the session. And you can use the following link to schedule your free 15-minute strategy conversation with Coach Keidi. HTTP, it says HTTPS. No, it is HTTP without the S. I don't have a security certificate on this website. So that is a typo there. I'll put up the links, the proper links in the chat. So I'll put those up in just a second. Join today and get an added bonus. Now, you see on the right-hand side in the upper right-hand corner, I want to point out this picture. In March 2021, I had just completed a 56-day living superfood rejuvenation program. Can you see a difference in the before and after pictures? So if you join today, I'm going to throw in an added bonus. You can join via PayPal, a single payment of $299, 2 monthly payments of $159. I have a Cash App. You can use my Cash App, $Keidi Obi. You can also Zelle me, KeidiObi@yahoo.com, or my Zelle is connected to my mobile phone, 702-580-0662. You can also use Zetto. We can do it on the phone via credit or debit card. You can just text me STEM cell to 702-580-0662, and we'll go ahead and we can do that over the phone using Zetto. Join today and get an additional bonus audio collection valued at over $50. I just put this audio collection together today as 15 different program audio tracks, each of them about 90 minutes or around 90 minutes, some a little shorter, some a little longer. And that's quite a catalog of audio. So all of that to say this, we have our own now. And we have the chance to change and transform ourselves as individuals towards the aim of transforming our life. So Pierce said, brother, I'm not rushing you. Please take your time. I was just asking when. And we do appreciate and respect everyone. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to post up the links. The screen sharing has stopped now. And we're going to open up the forum. If anybody has any comments, any questions you want to share, if you are dealing with some particular disorder or not feeling that your body is on the right track that you want to maintain for the foreseeable future, please do. This is a good time to speak up and ask your question right now of your brother. Please do. Somebody speak up.
I don't have a question, but I shared with everybody, if you'd like to see it, a short video that I made in honor of my mother who had been diagnosed with Lewy body dementia.
That's right. I recall our conversation on that.
One other thing that it taught me, kind of helping my dad care for her, is that no matter what ailment or such you have, you still have your human dignity.
That's right.
And but it taught me a lot. It actually got me to thinking about my own health issues. For instance, when I was in California in grad school, when my mother had died, and the news of it hit me like a rock. But because she was a registered psychiatric nurse, and she was very adamant about her own health and such until I guess the later years of her retirement. But it got me thinking about my own health because when I was in grad school, I went for a year out in California. I went for a year without, just to test it myself, without any meat-based or animal meat-based products. And I had some serious problems with constipation. And I didn't know exactly what caused it or how I could help it, you know. And so what I did, I'm sorry for got a little bit of light there.
No problem, man. No problem.
But I found I did some research about plants that had high protein stuff in them, and I changed it. And you know what? I went for this was for a year for a self study of my own, and I had roommates or housemates there who were pretty hygienic, but they didn't care what they put in their mouth, including what they ate, and some of them smoked and stuff. And you know what? They were getting sick all the time. I found that I didn't get sick.
All right.
Even from being close to them, you know, within breathing
Now,
distance.
can you put us on a time frame? When was all this taking place? Was this before you became engaged with the Living Superfood Protocol?
Oh yeah, but even with cooked foods, cooked whole food plant-based diet. it taught me a lot. Um, they, well, like I said, they were pretty hygienic and didn't care what they put in their mouth. But the only time I got a little bit of a reaction of an illness was from one time that I remember from house mold. But other than that,
Yeah.
nothing.
Hey, tell you what I'm going to do to keep this video as short as we possibly can. I'm going to ask everybody if you have a question directly related to the stem cell therapy therapeutic process, put that question in. I do see Brother Reginald put up a question. I'm going to get right to that. I want to make sure I include that in a recording, and I don't want to have to edit this recording before putting out for other people. Thank you, Brother Ken, for sharing your testimony, your experience. Brother Reggie asks, Kwame, Reggie, I suffered a corneal abrasion in my right eye from wearing contacts. The abrasion resulted in an ulcer that left a scar, which impacted my vision. Does your natural stem cell program address eye injuries? Yes, yes, yes. I was just writing and researching about that today for a chapter in the book, which deals with corneal rehabilitation. It deals with, because I know it did talk about this therapy being proposed for people to avoid corneal transplant surgery, macular degeneration, which is the focus of what the lens focuses on in the back of the eye. And so here's what I'm going to do. Corneal, I'm just going to real quickly see if there is a correlation. I'm going to go into a AI search engine. One of my favorites is Brave. And I don't want that. I want this. I'm going to go into Brave here real quick, and I'm going to put in this search inquiry. Corneal abrasion, capital AND, bio regeneration, capital AND, and the third heuristic I'm looking for is called stem cells. So there, I typed all of that in, and I'm going to read to you just briefly what it says. Now, again, the reason I'm kind of cautious about AI search engines is they tend to be strongly embracive of the medical, what's the word? The medical hierarchy, the existent medical hierarchy. And I prefer to support the hierarchy of alternative medicine, holistic medicine, natural medicine, functional medicine. So here's what it said. Corneal abrasion, a common eye injury when the corneal epithelium, that word epithelium does come up in our stem cell research, is disrupted, leading to discomfort, pain, and vision disturbances. Bioregeneration, the process of repairing damaged tissue through biological mechanisms, plays a crucial role in corneal wound healing. Stem cells, particularly limbal stem cells, which are derived from eye cell material. Stem cells, particularly limbal stem cells, are essential for corneal epithelial regeneration and bioregeneration. Now, it goes on to talk more and starts to define some of these different terms. And let me just copy, cut, and paste that for your benefit. It goes on to talk about stem cell populations and their roles. It talks about limbal stem cells located in the corneal scleral limbus. It talks about corneal epithelial stem cells, mesenchymal stem cells. Then we have a section talking about the bioregeneration process, which goes into several stages: lag phase, cell migration, cell proliferation, cell differentiation, cell adhesion. All of these are in the strategic course. And what you just suggested to me, my brother, I'm going to add this response from the AI search engine, and I'm going to do it through 3 other AI search engines and combine them. But this is just wonderfully powerful, what you have shared with your question. It says, by understanding the role of stem cells in corneal bioregeneration and developing effective therapeutic strategies, researchers aim to improve treatment outcomes for patients with corneal abrasions and diseases. And let me ask you this, if you would unmute yourself, Kwame Reggie, does that answer your question to your satisfaction?
Yes, and I can't wait to get started.
Yeah, this is awesome stuff. Now, does this corneal abrasion, I guess because it happened from, what do they call them? Not eyeglasses, but
Contacts.
contacts. Are you still required to use contacts?
No, I just wear my glasses.
Okay, so you wear glasses now. So this could give you the opportunity to bypass those glasses. I very fortunately, and I'm very proud to say, was able to bypass using eyeglasses because of this process. What do you think about that?
I love it, and I love the whole message about the program in terms of using the body's natural processes to heal itself versus uh, getting surgery for the different disorders.
All right. So thank you, thank you, thank you. During the course of our 53 days together, if you want to bring up this focus, because there was much more research that came out of that AI search. And like I say, this was just one search. Brave is one of my favorites, but it's not always the best one. I can use Copilot AI. I can use Ecosia AI. And I also use one called DuckDuckGo AI. I don't mess around with Google AI. I have a beef with Google. And I just don't think Google is a very honest corporation, to be honest, to be perfectly honest, because they're always selling you the leads that are giving them ad money. And to me, that's just not what the internet is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be all about pay for play. It's supposed to be about allow the people to empower themselves by giving access to the best and broadest base of verified information that you can possibly get. And when Google calls the research that I'm putting out and many others are putting out as misinformation, I don't cuss, but you know what you might say to that kind of behavior. Anybody else have any comments, any questions about what we're going through today before I hit the stop button?